Welcome to When Creativity Knocks All-Star Designer Summer Series.
Today's episode is all about travel games, and designer Judy Watanabe is going to show us an adorable suitcase game.
Now that it's summer, it's the perfect time to be traveling. And I have this adorable die cut from Suitcase that I've made this really cute suitcase. But inside the suitcase, I have a little surprise. It's a little travel game. And I'm gonna show you how I made that. So what I did was I took the Suitcase die and I ran it through their big shot die cutter, and I used this really heavy cardstock that they've got. It's super thick. The great thing about their instructions is it shows how thick of the paper that you can use to put through their machine with that die. So I cut out the die and I painted my little suitcase. I painted all the parts using the Deco Art Americana acrylic paint. Now, something to kind of think about here, which is kind of funny, I discovered this, is that when you're painting, you want to make sure that you paint inside these score lines here, because otherwise it shows white, which is the color of the cardstock. So I just painted the paint on and then I let that dry. And you have 4 little pieces here that you kind of got to remember to paint. Once you're finished painting, then you could assemble the suitcase, and you're going to assemble it just like the instructions. The next thing that I want to show you is how I made the stickers for my suitcase. Now, Judykins has this great collage stamp of all of these travel stickers. Just ink up your stamp with this black ink pad and then stamp it on this white paper. Now, after you've stamped your image, then you want to color it in. I've used dye-based ink on this paper, so that means that I can use permanent markers to color it in. I'm just going to take the different colors of pens here and just kind of color in whatever piece I want to use for my suitcase. So here's another suitcase here. And when you're finished coloring, you'll have something that looks like this. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use your scissors from Westcott and you're gonna cut out these pieces that then you'll collage onto your suitcase. Once I finish cutting out my pieces, then I glue them on with the decoupage medium. It's super easy to do. And then the final step is I took the Deco Art, kind of this ochre colored paint, and I just lightly painted it over the surface of the suitcase so that it looks like it's antiqued. To add a little bit of extra bling onto my suitcase, what I did was I used the Buckle Boutique adhesive rhinestones on this brown sheet of cardstock. Nice thing about them is they cut very easily, and then they've got adhesive on the back of it so that you can secure it without having to worry about glue. So I just attached them onto my suitcase. And you know, the edges of the suitcase always get a little wear and tear when they're going through the airport. So one of the things that we wanted to do was make it look realistic by adding those metal embellishments onto the corners of the suitcase. I have this stamp here of kind of a hinge, and when I stamped that onto the Merc Art pewter, then that created this little hinge. I just used the scissors, cut it out, and then I glued them on with the quick grip from Beacon Adhesive. So the final piece of my little project, my little travel suitcase with the game, is to make up the game board. So what I did was I stamped my background stamp twice. And I stamped it on green paper and again on yellow paper. And the reason why I stamped it on yellow paper is because this becomes the game board. Now, if you go to whencreativityknocks.com, you can download the template for this board and it'll look like this. So you'll stamp your image and then lay the template down and cut it out and you're good to go. Now, I also have all of these little pieces, and these little pieces make the pockets here for you to put in these tabs. So the way that the game works is that you're gonna have the dice and the little pieces, and every time somebody lands on a certain piece, it opens up and it tells you whether you skip a turn or you can keep moving forward. The game pieces were a lot of fun. What I did was I used the Makin's clay and then I squished it and squashed it and kind of moved it around so that I could end up with a die piece. The crazy thing is, because my game is really short, you really don't want to have your little game pieces move too far. So I just put 1, 1, 1, and then a couple of areas where it's blank. So if it's blank, then you don't move. But if you roll and you get 1, then you would move 1 spot. Okay, the last step that you want to do is you want to take your craft knife and cut a little slit in your game board. And the reason why is because that allows you to fold it so that you don't have this extra tension on this seam here. Then you could fold it up, put it in your little suitcase like so, and now you've got a little suitcase to take your travel game.
That was a great project.
I really loved it. Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
And pin us on Pinterest.
Find us on Instagram too. And don't forget to go to our website, sign up to receive our weekly newsletter, and then you're automatically entered to win a prize package full of product from all of our series sponsors.